Good evening, welcome. I hope you're ready for a invigorating but also calming practice today on this evening. So I like to start with a few moments of silence. If we can just close the eyes and allow the hands to rest on the knees with the palms facing up. You can also connect your fingers into a mudra, connecting index finger and thumb to allow for the energy to circulate and come back through the body. Sitting up tall here and just noticing the breath. Taking full breaths in and out. Not really changing the breath yet, just noticing the breath. Bringing a smile to our face. Relaxing the muscles in the forehead, the jaw, the face. And feeling a sense of gratitude for being present here for this practice, being healthy today. Lots of reasons we have to be grateful for. And just take a few moments there, again, connecting with your breath. For today's practice, I thought I would pull a card from my deck. These are angel cards by Doreen Virtue, and I've had these for about 10 years. So I occasionally like to pull one and see if there's an intention here for the greater good, an intention for our class and our practice today. And just shuffling the deck, and I'll pick one card for all of us. So the card selected is Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Good news about financial matters. Woohoo! Wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. So I'm going to read what the book says about that. And maybe this resonates for you. Hopefully it does. Page of Air. You'll likely receive new information that presents a challenge or delays. The message may come from someone who speaks bluntly and without thoughtfulness, but don't take it personally. What's important is the message, not the messenger. A youth who's often intelligent, honest, and endlessly curious. A person who's analytical, with a brilliant intellect, and who can reveal the truth behind situations. Fair, logical, unemotional, impulsive. This also may mean a new challenge, a contract or agreement, constructive criticism, legal matters. Interesting. All right, so the picture of the card is of a young girl with flowers and butterflies, and it's really colorful with fuchsia or blue, orange, purple. Just a really pretty card. So I don't know if that means anything to you out there watching with us. Either way, we're going to do just a short breathing technique here. The eyes still remain closed, and we're going to breathe together to the count of 4 and then exhale to the count of 4. So if you'll join me, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last round. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deep breath in, fill it all the way in. Open the mouth and empty out the breath completely. One more time. Fill it all the way in through the nose. And open the mouth, exhale completely. All right, and bringing the hands in front of the heart. Thumbs connect to your heart center and bow the head forward. Find your personal intention today. If there was anything that resonated with you from the earlier reading, or just the thoughts of gratitude that we should always cultivate and always share that vibration of high gratitude and love and joy for ourselves and for others around us. We can make that our intention for today. And then we slowly start to open the eyes. Bring your right hand to the ground and simply lift your left arm straight up. So looking up at your left palm, notice the space that you're creating on the left side of your body. And then turn your head to look down toward your right hand. Maybe turn and look back up. And turn to the right hand once again. And we switch. Other arm comes up. Just reach straight up. Many times we try to reach over, and that's okay too. But today we're just reaching straight up, looking up at your right thumb, and then look down at your left hand. Look up at your right hand. Look down at your left hand. And bring both arms overhead. Interlacing the palms, press energy through the palms, look up at your hands. And exhale, press the hands forward. As you round the back, tuck the chin, look down toward your belly button. Inhale again. Eyes follow the hands as you look up gently. And exhale to round the back. Press energy through the palms, looking down at your belly button. One more time, lift, looking up. Exhale to tuck the chin and exhale completely. Good. And then releasing that, rolling the shoulders back and rolling them forward. Take the arms out. Open your wingspan. Reach and give yourself a big hug. Reaching for the shoulder blades. Maybe a little soft rock and roll from side to side. Rock your body. And then when you're ready, bring the forearms together. Maybe the palms touch into eagle arms, Garudasana. If this is not comfortable, you can always just hold on to your shoulders for modification. Hold this, maybe tip the elbows up slightly. And then slowly fold, just bringing the elbows toward the legs. Drop your head, allow gravity to just let your head soften toward the ground. And then as we come up, notice which arm we have on top so we can switch it around. So take the arms out, widen your wingspan. This time bring your other arm on top as you reach and give yourself a big hug. One more time, soft roll. Allow the body to just move in any direction organically. Coming back to eagle arms, forearms touch and palms. Gently lift the elbows. If that's comfortable, keep lifting a little bit more. And then slowly come to a fold, letting the arms and the head be heavy toward the floor. And coming back up to center. One more time, roll the shoulders back and forward. Okay, and then finding our hands and knees. You can also use any props around the house. So if you have pillows, blankets, for blocks, You can use big encyclopedias, hardcover books, something that's sturdy enough that you can use as a block, or maybe you can do your practice without any props, and that's fine too. So from hands and knees, separate the fingers wide, nice big palm. And then for here, we're gonna do something different today. So take your right foot out. So if you're looking at the camera, my hip and my ankle are in a straight line. My whole foot is pressing on the ground. From here, I'm gonna come up, hands come to the hips. So the side version looks like this. Arms like a T, tip over to that straight leg. Turn your top palm, and let's look at the left palm. Bringing it back to center. So from here, we're going to turn the back toes under, so curl it under, so you might be able to touch your heel. Bringing the hand to the heel, reach back. Right leg is still straight, leaning back to whatever your range of motion is available. If it's not that available, just bring your hand to your low back and a slight tip back. So this is your modification. And then cartwheel both hands to the ground. Coming to the forearms, we're gonna stretch back. So press into the hips, feel this in your inner groin. And pause whenever you feel the stretch right in the inner thigh. Okay, climb up to your palms, and let's try that on the other side. So I'm just gonna flip my body so you can see this side. Taking the left foot out, ground the entire foot. So from the forward side, it looks like this. All right, and then we're coming up, hands to the hips. Create a T with your arms and tip over to that straight leg. Turning the top palm to look down at you. Keep reaching through the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Soften the elbow that's supporting your weight, so that way your shoulder and your ear are not together. You want to create a lot of space here in the neck and the shoulder area. Good, we're going to bring it to center and take it into our back bend. So again, I'm turning a little bit to the side. If the heel is accessible to you, use it. If not, just place one hand on your low back and take it into a half back bend. Maybe at some point the heel is available and you can reach back. Cartwheel both hands to the floor. Again, I'm turning so you can see the side version. Foot is still planted on the ground. Coming to the forearms, press back into the hips. Again, so you can feel this right into the inner part of your thigh, pressing back. Climb back up onto the palms, bring the knees together and come to a kneeling position. Interlacing the hands behind us, or if the palms don't touch, you can always just grab on to the opposite elbows. So wherever you are here, just opening the chest and taking a moment here. If you want to take this a little further so you're getting a stretch in the soles of your feet, you can also do broken toe. So by curling the toes under and then sitting on the heels, you're stretching the soles of your feet. Pause here as you continue to open your chest, open your throat, maybe tip the head up and back. Good, releasing and coming to hands and knees. From hands and knees, let's walk the knees back a little bit or walk the hands forward a bit. So that way we're in a modified plank. Tucking the hips in line with the back and the thighs, and then let's lower down slowly, exhale. Come to cobra, low cobra. Press back to child's pose. Take a few moments here in child's pose. Allowing the breath to escape from an open mouth. Notice how that relaxes the rest of your face, the rest of your body. Coming back to hands and knees. And then from here, curling the toes under, let's lift to downward dog. Bending one knee at a time to allow for the other leg to extend fully. And switch. Bend one knee. One more time, switch. And again, change to the other leg. Both knees bend as you come forward. Walk to the top of the mat. With your halfway lift, this time bring the hands behind you with the palms facing up. We're going to do our halfway lift today without touching the tops of the legs or the shins like we normally do. And then fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach back just a tiny bit. And then hands to heart. Again, we reach up. With your exhale, fold. You can bend the knees as you fold. Halfway lift. Hands come next to us like wings. And fold. Come back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Here you can modify, drop to the knees first, like we did earlier. Lower the chest. Come up to cobra. Elbows still bent, keeping low to the ground. Lift up to plank, press up, and downward dog. Let's take the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Step it all the way through. Come to that low lunge. If you need that extra cushion, I have a blanket here. You can use anything that's around in the house and create a little more cushion. Press the knee forward gently as you allow the hips to soften toward the ground. We do want our knee and our ankle to be in a straight line. So check in with your joints and make sure your knee is protected by being above the ankle. Arms can come up. Lower the hands and step back to downward dog. Repeat on the other side as we take the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, and step it all the way through. Low lunge, release your knee to the ground. Again, checking in with that front knee. Even though we're pressing the energy down and forward, we still want to make sure there's a nice 90-degree angle with our front leg. If and when you're ready, take the arms overhead. Both hands come down, downward dog. Step it back. With your next inhale, come forward to plank at your own pace. Lower down, you can come to the knees. That's available to you anytime. Press up to a half cobra so the elbows are still bent. Find downward dog. Pressing up through plank for more challenge, and then downward dog. Sway the hips side to side. Look forward, walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift with the hands next to us, next to our hips, like our wings reaching back. And fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. You can bend the knees anytime to reach up and reach back. And the hands come to prayer and then to the side. Take a moment here, cleansing breath as we inhale, exhale. Come to chair pose, sitting back into the heels and into the hips. Keep breathing here as you hold your chair pose. And then we flow. On an inhale, come up 3/4, and on your exhale, lower down. Again, 3/4 lift, soft bend in the knees. Exhale. Continue your own rhythm, your own breath. A couple more. Last one. Sink into your chair, bring the hands close to your heart. Pause here, maybe even come onto the tippy toes as you lift the heels off the mat. Just a little more challenge here. Check your balance, check your strength. Lower the heels and fold forward, diving toward the toes. Halfway lift, arms come next to the hips. Reach through the fingertips, flat back. Exhale to fold and step right back to plank. Lowering down, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Coming a little higher this time if you're warmed up to straighten the arms completely. And back to downward dog. Pedaling the feet or swaying the hips. Let the breath release. The right leg reaches high as we bend the knee, opening the hip. Maybe take some circles with that knee and that hip. So leading with the knee, take about 3 circles in one direction. Once that's completed, reverse the direction, 3 more circles. When you think you've completed that, bring the knee in toward your chest, hug it in, and then step the foot all the way through. If you have blocks, you can use them here. If not, both hands to the floor as you situate your legs. And just pause here for a breath. Shine the heart forward, look forward, open the chest, and when you're ready, press into both legs and rise up. One more breath in, look up if you can, and with your exhale, bringing both hands to the ground, remove the blocks to the side as you step back to downward dog. And taking the left leg high, bend the knee, and circling the knee and the hip, again, 3 times in one direction. Reverse when you're ready. Taking the knee in toward your chest, hug it in, get your core active here, and then step the foot between the thumbs. Blocks or no blocks, but just take a second to situate the body, the legs. Make sure your back heel is off the mat. Shine the heart forward, lengthen, open forward. On your next inhale, rise up, strong legs, crescent lunge. Last inhale, look up, reach up through the fingertips. And exhale, hands to the ground. We step back to downward dog. Coming forward to plank. Let's drop the right knee. If you still have your blanket like I do, it's handy. So from here, only the right knee is touching. Turn your left hip, open it. Left hand comes overhead. side plank variation. Reach the fingertips forward. Take your left leg to float up. And now you feel like you're creating a super long line with the left side of your body. Make your body about 1% longer by reaching the fingertips and reaching the heel a bit further. If there's space and you can, reach behind you. Otherwise, keep holding the stretch that we just had. No need to do anything that your body is not ready for today, maybe even tomorrow, maybe never. It doesn't matter. Just do what you can do and stay in those poses that make you feel good. Extend one more time and back to downward dog. Let's stretch back. Come forward to plank, shoulders above the wrists, and this time only drop the left knee. Turn and open the right hip. Keeping the foot on the ground at first, and keeping the right arm straight up toward the ceiling for just a moment. Now reach your arm forward and elevate your leg. Reaching, see if there's any more space that you can reach with your fingertips or your heel. Make yourself a little longer, a little stronger, a little more steady, and either hold it here or your choice to bind, grab the foot behind you, arch the back, create some healthy tension between hand and foot, like the foot is pulling out of the grip and the hand is gently pulling onto the ankle. And we release both and extend them and come back to hands and knees. Good. From here, press back into child's pose. Downward dog. As we lift the hips, lengthen back and up. When you're ready, take your right leg high, bend the knee once again, open the hip, bring the knee mindfully and slowly into the chest and hold it there. Step the foot all the way through. We're coming back into crescent lunge, so we're still on the ball of the left foot, reaching high. We're here just for a breath or two. One more inhale. Exhale, Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Open and ground the back heel. Much easier than crescent lunge, where you're balancing on the back ball of the foot. So reaching energy in both directions, but turning to look over your right hand. We want to flow here with the breath. So on an inhale, lift, straighten the leg, and bring the hands overhead. You can clap them if you want, no one's watching you. Exhale, warrior two. Again, up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. A few more times, follow your own rhythm. This is our last round. As we reach up, bring it back to warrior two, and then come to side angle. So we're used to putting our forearm to our thigh, and you can do that, or you can just straighten the arm and not really touch the floor. We're just kind of floating, just like a hand of a clock. Just kind of floating there at 6 and 12. All right, back to warrior two. We'll flow a little bit between these poses. Reverse warrior, reach your right fingertips straight up. Open the whole right side of your body. Rib cage, underarm, elbow, lengthen up. Come to warrior two. Same thing, 6 and 12. Again, you can use forearm to thigh, or just let your hand kind of press into the side of your calf. That makes you do a little more work, basically, because you're not resting your weight onto your leg. Come back to warrior two. One more time, reverse warrior. Lightly tap that left hand to the left thigh. Right fingertips reach high. And bring it back to center. We straighten the front leg. Take it back into reverse triangle just for a moment. And then bring that right hand all the way down, either to your shin, floor, or a block. So I'm going to use a block. You could follow me if you have something similar at home. Once again, you can just place your hand on your shin. Bringing that left hand down. We turn to face the right foot, so the foot that's in front of us. And for this one here, I'm moving my blanket away because I want to bring this back leg about halfway distance. So step it in about halfway. It's a big step. All 10 toes facing forward. As you can see, my body is facing the front of the mat, as we call squared to the front. Lengthen your spine forward and just pause there. Feel the strength and the length in your back and your spine. As you feel like there's a string at the top of your head and someone is gently just extending your body forward. And hold that for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Soften toward the right shin. Keep the legs straight. Hands come to the hips so we can rise up. If you can come up all the way with straight legs, great. No big deal if you had to modify that. All right, now we're at the top of our mat in Tadasana. Taking the arms overhead, open and lift. With our exhale, we fold, diving toward the toes. Halfway lift, remember the hands come next to our hips, palms facing up, lengthen. The shoulders are pressing down. You have so much length here in your neck, and your head is sending forward energy. And bring it all the way down. Step back to plank. Cycle through your own vinyasa as you lower down. Exhale. Inhale. Upward dog. And then downward dog. Taking the left leg high and bending the knee. Mindfully bring the knee in toward the chest and hold. Footsteps between the thumbs, and we're right back up into our crescent lunge. You got this. So I may not be there watching you, but I know you got this. So stay strong in your pose. Stay focused in your practice. One more inhale to lift. On the exhale, we open the hips. Come to warrior two. You can see your big toe peeking on the inside of your left knee. So if you look straight down, you should probably see your big toe and like maybe one more toe. Again, knee above the ankle, protecting the joints. All right, let's flow here. Almost like we want to clap, or please do if you want. And exhale, warrior two. Turning the head to look forward, and then turning the head to look up toward our hands as we inhale and clap. Exhale back down, warrior two, sink. Inhale back up, looking at the palms. Exhale, warrior two. A couple more times. All right, and settle into your warrior two, Virabhadrasana, and come to side angle. Again, that hand is just gently pressing into the side of the calf, or you can always bend the elbow and allow some of your weight to rest onto your quad. Bring it back to warrior two. Lightly touch right hand to the thigh, look up, left fingertips extend to the ceiling. Again, warrior two to side angle. Warrior two, and lift up. Left palm is where we're looking. All right, and then finishing here with side angle for just a moment. We bring both hands to the ground. Step that back foot in about halfway, prepping for our pyramid pose. Again, the legs here should be straight, but the knees not locked. The whole foot, both heels touching the ground. All 10 toes turn to face forward. And then we lengthen. So this is the part where you should feel like there's a string pulling your entire back and your head forward. Inhale to lengthen, become super long. Exhale to start softening toward the left shin. Hands come to the hips. Again, it takes some balance and strength here. A little bit of soft bend in the knees. We don't want to lock them. And then come up. That's actually pretty challenging to come up with straight legs. Now, open up to a wide stance. Slightly turn the toes inward, pigeon toe. The hands can stay on the hips. You can also do any other variation if you choose. Take a breath in as you lift the chest. As you exhale, let's fold halfway. Come to that lengthen back. So the same thing we were just doing in pyramid pose. We want to feel like there's a string pulling energy and length from the crown of our head forward. And so feel that, visualize that, become longer through the neck, and then continue folding as you exhale. The hands can slide down to the ankles or the floor. Hands to the hips, bring yourself back up, turn the toes out. We're gonna bring the hands to the inner thighs. So this is where we're gonna keep both arms straight, lead with the shoulder, keeping the arm straight. So my right palm is gonna press the inner thigh away and bring the right shoulder in. So this is a little bit of a twist, right? Pressing the thigh away, straight arm, bring it to center. Same thing. Left hand presses the inner left thigh away as I bring the left shoulder into the center. One more time. Bring the right shoulder in. Bring the left shoulder in. Come back to center. Hands to prayer. Come up. Become a big X with your body. Take up all the space. Good. Come back down into a squat. Hold this. And if you want to add more here, come onto your tippy toes and hold this challenging doing squat, but if you have any bar experience, which some of you do, you can probably hold this here pretty comfortably. Hold for one more breath. Exhale, heels down, lift, take up all the space. Perfect. Hands come back to heart. Turn your body, face the front. Come to Tadasana. Drop the hands for a moment, close the eyes. Breathe in. Take a couple breaths here. All right, when you're ready, arms come overhead. Fold as you dive. Halfway lift. Take flight, arms come next to you. Reach through the fingertips and lengthen the head forward. The hands come to the ground as we step back for Vinyasa, cycling through our own flow. Any modifications, you can always switch it up. And back to down dog. Taking the right leg high, bend the knee. Bring the knee in toward your chest and hold it for a full breath. In. Exhale, place the foot between the hands. This time, we allow the back heel to be grounded. We're coming right up into Warrior Two. If you happen to be using a block or something sturdy, keep it near you and come right up to Warrior Two. So I understand not everybody has a block at home, but you do have walls. So for this next balancing pose, you can use a block. We're coming into half moon. Again, if you don't have a block, you can use a wall behind you. So I'll demonstrate both. Take your left hand, just bring it to your waist, and then as you lean down, kind of like you're about to do a cartwheel, take your block into your hand if you have one. If not, you can still probably do it. It just will be a little more challenging maybe. And so the hand is balanced on the block, and my standing leg, which is my right leg, these two are doing all the work, but this left leg in the air is also very active. You should be able to go, if someone were there to press your leg, move it, it should be very strong. And you do that by flexing the foot. So if you need some support, I don't have a full wall here, but I'm sure you do somewhere in your house. Bring your hips to be supported by any open wall. And you can do whatever, with whatever you have in the house and whatever your range of motion is, be there. Be there today, and be there with a calm mind, with a smooth breath. Challenge your strength, balance, and flexibility here. Holding it for one more second. Very nice. Folding forward, coming to frog pose. We're gonna take the feet as wide as the mat, sink the hips down. So from the front, looks like this. Pressing the elbows to the inner thighs. Take a second here. And for some of you, this is a good time to transition into crow pose, which is a arm balance. You can try that out. If you're not ready for crow today, which I can demonstrate, separating the fingers always when the palms are on the ground. And you can do a little baby crow, so squeeze the knees in toward the triceps, and just like a little kid, rock back and forth. Maybe you feel light on the feet, and the feet float up. If you want to come into full crow or crane, lift the hips, bend the elbows to create shelves, and connect the shins to the triceps. Looking forward, light on the feet. Again, maybe we're not ready for that today, and that's okay. If you're not ready for it and you've never tried this before, just practice shifting some of your weight onto your hands and back to the legs. And just get used to that feeling of rocking forward and rocking back. One more time, rock forward, rock back. Awesome. And walk into downward dog. On your next inhale, the left leg comes up, bending the knee. Bring the knee in toward the chest and mindfully pull it in. Hold it there. And then step it all the way through. Back heel will ground. So we want to set it up already. Heel touches the ground. Windmill the arms. Warrior two. So we talked about blocks and walls and different things around. So even if this is a bolster, which again, most people don't have one in their house, but if you have a dense pillow, you can use it for half moon. For just demonstration purposes, I will use this heavy pillow, hand to the pillow, and float the right leg. So your top hand can stay on your hip. This kind of helps you gauge where your hip is. Maybe you're helping open your hip. Or maybe you want to reach the hand up toward the ceiling. Take a few more breaths. I encourage you to, even if you fall out of the pose or lose your balance, I should say, that you just try it again. And if you feel very unstable in this pose, I encourage you to start with a wall. So you kind of understand what your body's alignment can be in this pose. And then you'll get that muscle memory for next time when you're not using a wall. Okay, and when you're ready, just come into a forward fold. And from our forward fold, come to the tippy toes, bend the knees, drop to a tiny squat. Different from what we did before, which was frog pose, open hips, open knees. This is closed knees, closed heels. Everything is kind of to the center. And it's more about testing your balance in this position. Bring a smile to your face. This should be fun, right? Yoga, we get all serious and the face holds all this tension. Try to have some fun here while you try new things. Perfect. So from here, just slowly take a seat, roll back, and let's come back to a comfortable cross-legged pose. Bringing some circles into our hips here as we rotate forward and back. Flow with the breath. Even closing the eyes here is encouraged. So you can really be in your body. Reverse the rotation. Inhaling as the chest comes forward. Exhaling as you round the back. It feels a lot like cat-cow. Similar movement, just a little more circular. Try to incorporate the neck and shoulders all the way down to the waist and every tight spot in between. And we come to center, stillness. Turn the palms up for a second, notice the stillness, notice your body, your spirit. The senses that are ignited, the space that you're in. The sounds, the taste in your mouth, the sensation of heat or cold. into the space, finishing our practice here with just a couple more final poses. Bringing the hands behind us and pressing up to a gentle table. So the feet are not touching each other, but they're also close enough to the hips where you can lift up and your knees would be above your ankles. And on an exhale, lower to a hover. So we don't want to sit back down, just come to a hover. Again, lift up and lower. 2 more times, lift and lower. Last time. This time lower all the way down to the sit bones. And the knees and the shins come parallel to the ground. Lift your chest. Feel like you're holding a tray with your entire body and the palms are facing up into Navasana, boat pose. So just holding this is challenge enough as our core here is firing up. We feel that ignition, and reach up the arms, creating some more movement as we inhale. Exhale the hands to the side. 2 more times, up. And hug in the knees. Bring your forehead closer to the knee. Make sure you have space behind you. We're coming down to the mat. Also, if you want to lower the lights, bring a sweater for Shavasana if you know that you get a little chilly toward the end. So make sure your space is comfy, in other words. And from here, come all the way down onto your back. Pause here for a moment and just surrender your weight. Surrender all the way into the earth. This is the best feeling. Once you've done all the work in your practice, in your yoga practice, you can come to those final moments on the mat where you just cultivate that calm and relaxation. And let's add one final twist here, one more stretch. Cross your right leg over your left leg and then shift your hips. Lift your hips, turn them so that both your knees can fall out to the left side. Now, if this is too much of a twist and the sensation is intense, you don't have to cross one leg over the other. You can just let both knees simply fall to one side. That's a lot gentler. So the fact that we're crossing one leg over makes it more intensified. Also, if your neck or head are not comfortable with turning to the right, you can just simply allow your face to look upward, although the eyes are closed. And we're surrendering into the supine twist. And when you're ready, bringing both feet back onto the mat, centering the hips once again, and choose how you want to bring the knees to the side. If you want that nice deep twist, cross the left leg over the right. If not, then just keep both knees together as they fall out to the right side. Trying your best to press both shoulder blades into the floor, although one will try to lift up. Press some pressure into it so it connects to the earth. As you're ready, slowly bringing both knees back to center, feet on the ground. And we're going to start our Shavasana with Baddha Konasana. So allow the soles of your feet to connect and both knees to fall out open. If that's not comfortable for your low back or your knees, you can skip this part and just come to regular Shavasana with the legs straight in front of you. experiment with both of those poses, and maybe you start in Baddha Konasana and then after a few breaths decide to straighten the legs into full Shavasana. Either way, this is the time to be still, which is the hardest thing for us humans to do. We're just so ingrained in our minds that we always have to be doing something. And we're never allowed to just be. So this is our chance here in Shavasana to just be. The eyes are closed. The body is completely still. And just follow your breath. Follow that full breath in and that smooth exhale. This poem is called Quietness. It's by Rumi. Inside this new love, die. Your way begins on the other side. Become the sky. Take an axe to the prison wall. Escape. Walk out like someone suddenly born into color. Do it now. You're covered with thick cloud. Slide out the side. Die and be quiet. Quietness is the surest sign that you've died. Your old life was a frantic running from silence. The speechless full moon comes out now. Be quiet and clear now, like the final touch points of calligraphy. Your name has been erased from the roaring volume of speech. Parts of those words resonated with you as you still keep the eyes closed. I'd like to share that in Shavasana, it is a version of a death. A part of us dies at the end of each yoga practice. So we practice on the mat and we shed parts of us and we open up and we let go. And a lot of transformation happens on the yoga mat, especially if you've been doing this long enough to know that there is a transformative magic that happens on the yoga mat. And when you come to Shavasana, and that's the conclusion of all your hard work that you've put into your practice for today, then a part of you dies in a good way. You've let go of one thing, you've let go of holding on to something. You let go of something, and sometimes you don't even know that you did, but you did. We definitely let go a lot on our yoga mats every day. And so with our Shavasana, we let a piece of us go. And as we awaken from our Shavasana, it's a rebirth. We come back to a new moment. And each breath is a new opportunity, a new moment. So as you come back to this present space, this moment, this rebirth on your mat, in your home, in your practice today, in your heart, slowly come up to a comfortable seat. Just like we started our practice today, and let the palms face upward, connecting thumb and index finger, and the palms are open and facing up because we want to show that indication of being ready to accept abundance, accept newness, accept whatever it is that the universe has in store for us, because sometimes we don't even know that the plan we have for ourselves is not even half as good as the plan that the universe or God has for us. So just trust the process. Trust that whatever you need will find you. And in the meantime, come to your yoga mat and let a part of you die every day so that you can rebirth into a new, better, more whole person each and every day. Join me as we reach the arms overhead and take a deep breath in, clearing our aura, palms connect, and then bring the thumbs all the way down to your heart center, bowing the head toward your heart. The divine light in me recognizes the divine light inside of all of you. And out of respect and love, we bow to that. And we say thank you and namaste.